Hey, what's going on with your family? Torsten Tease Guitars, man. If you're new, welcome. Been wanting to do this for a minute, and someone reminded me today in a chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That I should be putting out a monthly blog and a newsletter like I did when I first started, and I don't have time, so this is going to have to suffice. And I'm going to do this at the beginning of every month, just to we'll call it keep you in the loop, man, just so you guys know what's going on at Tease Guitars and how we're doing, how we're feeling. Yeah, first of all, again, if you're new, what's Tease Guitars? We have a family of people, and they're guitar players of all different skill levels. They come from all over the world, and we have a common belief in tradition of old-fashioned customer service, values, quality, you name it. We bring it back, kind of old school type deal. It's something that you can count on, and it's something that a lot of people are finding that they want to be a part of, because it's hard to find that in this world today. And I enjoy the hell out of doing this, man. I try to do the best job I can for each and every one of you, and you guys you do the best job you can, and we all hang out. And I go to a lot of these Facebook pages and stuff like that, and I see people putting each other down and talking, and this and that. And you look at our page, and it's filled with nothing but respectful people. And we're always gonna keep it that way. Always gonna keep it that way. There's no room for criticism. There's room for opinions and comments and things like that. But it's families fight too. Just so I got one, you got one too. So. But that being said, it's just a cool place to hang out, and it's something that you can't really experience everywhere you go. So hopefully you're enjoying the experience as you ride this journey with us. Again, if you're new, we're a company that's coming up on 4 years. We're doubling up every year, and I'm not bragging on that, because I didn't do anything to do that. That was all of you guys that grew Tease Guitars to what Tease Guitars is today and what it'll be tomorrow. So I just have to keep plugging away and doing what I'm doing. So I do want to keep you guys in the loop on so what's going on this month, and we'll talk about that real quick. So the SBH, I'll get production samples shipped to me on the 10th. I should have everything by the 17th, and we'll release those for pre-orders. The ST1, they finished the rework on those guitars, and so I was kind of vague about, well, why didn't you just approve the production samples? Well, it kind of reminded me of Bad Friday and Saturday Night back in the 80s when I was doing a little headbanging down in Hollywood, California, because there was a lot of powder in those guitars. The nuts were sloppy, they weren't cut right, and like waking up on a Sunday morning, they all needed neck alignments, and that was just with the margins that we have in those ST1 guitars. I don't have time to sit there and cut everything, recut all the nuts, and then if they're overhanging, file the overhang on those. And I want to make sure that you guys get a good product, and I pay for all that. I pay for that service, and so I want to make sure that it's right, and that the necks are all aligned and string them, so we can, when we send you out a guitar, you don't have to worry about that, and I don't have to sit there and realign every neck. There's just not enough room for me to sit there and put another 25-30 minutes into a guitar, or have our guys do it. So that was the reason for the ST1 delay, and it kind of is what it is on that. So the QR1 prototype, that's shipping on the 10th of the month, and that's a 24 fret alder body super strat, one pickup. It's actually two pickups in one, but it's got one pickup slot in it, and it's just a volume knob with a push-pull, full-size pots and everything in there, 24 frets. It's going to be a nice guitar, 21 to 1 locking tuners on it. It's a beast. Maple quilted top, or flame top, I should say. And then we have the ST Pro series, which I haven't talked about a lot, just because I was trying to keep it under wraps. And that prototype is shipping on the 20th of the month. And so we'll have, the one that we're getting is just going to be a natural wood, because it's an alder body, and that's a nice looking piece of wood, so we can just put a clear finish over that, and black pick art on it. And that's going to be an HSS configuration, all Alnico, 21 to 1 locking tuners on that guitar are going to come standard. It's got a big block trim in it. It'll be a nice bridge. The frets on that are going to be jumbo frets, and it's a pro guitar. You know, it's the ST Pro series. Um, so of the QR1, the first run we're going to do 4 colors, and it's going to be 25 units each, and the same thing on the ST Pro series, 4 colors, 25 units each, and we'll see how that goes. And I want you guys to know about something. I've been working on these guitars for, it takes about a year and about 10 grand to come up with a new guitar. It's not just like, I don't pick stuff out of a catalog. These are all things that we do in-house, that we put together and brainstorm and go back and forth on bridges and pickups and what kind of nut, how we want the nut cut, right? That QR1's going to have the nut's going to be a little bit cut a little bit different, because I have a feeling that a lot of these people they're going to want heavy bottom, skinny top strings on that, because that's what kind of a guitar it is. But it'll also have to accommodate regular guitar strings, right? So again, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. For 2026, I want you guys to know, and we've been working on this for the last 6 months, and I haven't let this leak out either. And we're making an SBH Pro series for 26, and it's not gonna have a and we're not, the E series is still, that's going along, chugging along just fine. I love that guitar, as many of you do too, and it sells out in record time. It's just a good guitar. It's a good solid workhorse. It's great for beginners. Pros use it, they gig it. I hear a lot of people looking at reviews from guys that don't know how to chicken pick, and they're like, I don't hear it sounding like a Tele, you know. There's a review under reviews on our website where J-Man from Canada, he does some chicken picking on that review, and you can't get any more of a chicken picking sound out of guitar than you can get out of this Tease guitar. It sounds perfect. But you also get the blues, the jazz. Big Jake Music, he does classic rock, man. That's all that guy plays is 80s classic rock, 80s and 90s classic rock. It's not all he plays, but you know what I mean. And you can get that sound out of it. And then we've got Don Giroux. He's on there too under the reviews, and it says just listen to that guy play some just beautiful jazz and blues music on that same guitar. So you got country, you got rock, you got jazz and blues, and then you go to fret knot. And you see these guys just pound the crap out of that SBHE series, and they're just playing some head-banging metal. I mean, it's just banging, man, and they love that guitar. So it's a very versatile unit. The SBH Pro is going to be really big magnets, like I'm talking like quarter-pounder magnets, right? In a Alnico 5 single coil. And then it's going to have a little bit of a higher output to match this single coil that we're putting in there. We're going to have to. Alnico 5 bridge pickup in it. That's going to have an ashtray bridge. It's going to have brass compensated saddles. It's going to have an unroasted Canadian maple neck. Not roasted. It's going to be it's a traditional kind of guitar. I don't know what the colors are going to be. I don't know if we're going to do this in flame top. I don't want to, but I'm kind of being pushed that way by some folks around here, and I think it would look good in like the traditional Daphne blue and green, butterscotch, you know, the traditional colors that guitar's been around for a long time. And that guitar too, because again, it's a Pro Series guitar, that'll have jumbo stainless steel frets on it as well. It'll have 21-to-1 locking tuners on it. It'll still have all the great components, CTS pots. They're not going to be 500 pots because we're not pushing a humbucker. They're going to be 250 pots, CTS, Gabbett wiring, the Switchcraft style switch that we have in there, all that good stuff. I don't think we're going to make it an open route. It's probably going to be a closed route, and that'll still be a string through body, but I'm excited about that. So we're sold out of guitars. That's another reason I'm doing this. And I've got but 5 guitars to set up for tomorrow, and then that's it, we're done. I do have a handful of guitars that I need to put like new coil split switches in them. A couple of them I have that I need to do some fret levels on and things like that They were just, I'm not going to call them defects because they're not. They just need a little bit of TLC to get them to be a Tease guitar. I'm going to do that, and I'll probably put those up next week sometime. It's not a whole bunch of them, it's just a few of them, but I'll have those, and those are the E-Series guitars. And I have absolutely no ST1s left at all, so we're not going to go with that. And I'm not going to fix the ones that I have here that just came in on the run. I'll kind of save those for, I don't even know what I'm saving them for, but like I said, you know, the nickel laminate, the nuts on them, you know, you have to take them apart and blow all the powder out of them and everything. When I took them apart, there's a mess in there. So, and I didn't think about this, when we get a lot of powder in the cavities of the guitars, that can affect your pots and give you scratchy pots and all the other good stuff. And I don't want to, I don't want to deal with that. You know, these guitars, the ST1, the SPR series, that's a workhorse guitar. It's a great setup, perfectly playing. It feels like a $500 guitar when it's sitting in your lap. And that's kind of what I was going for when we started this whole deal, right? I didn't want my guitar to be the reason that a beginner didn't pursue playing guitar. There's a lot of things that'll stop from somebody from playing guitar, you know, getting a guitar, and you don't have to make a huge investment in the ST1, but you get a really nice guitar. And it's a pro level guitar. I mean, people gig the hell out of that thing. Oh, I was going to talk about that. On this upcoming ST1 order that's coming in, I've also ordered, I think I ordered 50 or 100 HH pick guards that are perfectly cut with the pinwheel cutout, and also just the 8 holes. So for you guys that like to mod guitars, I'll have a pick guard that drops right in that you won't have to do anything with. It's only going to have it'll have a 3-way toggle switch hole, and it'll have 1 volume knob for the 2, and you can put a split coil splitter in there. If you wanted to put a tone or whatever you want to do, just drill one in the pick guard. I did it for a certain reason that we're going to do. We'll probably do several HH models out of this run of ST1s that are incoming. Well, we'll do at least probably 20 of them or so. So that'll be pretty cool. I also had to order another 60 black SBH pick guards, just because we're selling a lot of those, man. A lot of people are they're like, yeah, I'll take a black pick guard that's cut out perfectly. So we're doing that. In my downtime here before the guitars actually come in, right? Because it takes about 35, 40 days, right around there, for the guitars to come from overseas to New York, and then they go again. It's the same process. For those of you who've been around, you know the process. And so we'll start the pre-orders as soon as I can get the information on these guitars. It will be this month, and I'm thinking the E-Series might even go up before the ST1s. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. They're on vacation until a holiday, they call it, until the 7th, so we'll check that out, and we'll get that deal doing. And then I've been getting a lot of inquiries about hats, hoodies, and shirts, and all that good stuff, and I might just open up. I don't have a lot of time to do with this, and I'm not going to mark anything up. I'm just going to do this as a courtesy. And so because right now you can go to RJ's Cave, and you can get RJ's Cave is on YouTube, and he's got a store on his YouTube channel, and his supplier, it's great quality stuff though. That's the thing. I don't know if I can get the same quality he gets, but I think I can get it by a few dollars cheaper. So we'll see how that. I don't know. I'm gonna look into doing maybe some kind of a merch store, as long as I don't have to do a bunch of work on it. And get a bunch of calls on it and things like that, because I'm not into selling shirts and hats. We're into building and selling guitars, and so that's kind of the way we want to keep it. So I wanted to keep this kind of short and sweet, under 15 minutes. I want to do this with you guys once a month, just to check in and let you know what's going on, where we're at, if we got any new products coming in, what we're working on, what's coming in, what's going out, you know. And then every 3 months in one of these things, I'll do what I normally do, and that's to give like a quarterly update of where we stand unit-wise, and how we're doing that, you know, as far as volume goes, and what the growth of Tease Guitars is, and what's our next step, right? What's our next step? So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for the last 14 minutes and 45 seconds. Hopefully this answered all your questions, okay? Hopefully this answered all your questions. and I can spend some time, some family time, for the next few weeks, kind of getting ready for what we got to get into, and I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I have a feeling that the SBH series and the ST1 series are going to arrive like within days of each other, like within a week of each other. So we're really going to have to step up our game and make sure that, and I've got people this time. It's not just going to be Torsten setting up guitars, I can assure you. It almost killed me last time. I got to be around. So we'll get all that set up, and we'll get all the strings and the saddle screws and everything ordered, and any certain specialties that you guys want. We'll make sure we have enough pick guards, different color pick guards, if you want to do swaps and things like that. Just to let you know, on the ST1s, we're not going to be doing pick guard swaps on those if you pre-order a guitar. I'll sell you a pick guard, but I'm not going to do like, you know, mods and things like that. You have to understand, man, to set up, ship, contact all you guys with what your specifications are and your setups and things like that. It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of effort, you know, and I just don't have time to take, you know, pickups out and put pickups in and do all this other stuff. Let the dust settle from after the pre-orders come in, and then we'll, like I said, then we'll start doing some more mods. Right now I just don't have the personnel to do it, and the people that I do have to do it are going to be busy setting up guitars. Okay, and that's kind of the main deal, is that because you pre-order a guitar, I want you to get it on time, right? You know, I don't want you to wait. If I wanted you to wait, I just wouldn't do the pre-order, and then we'd sell 200 or 300 guitars, and then you could wait another month to get them, or 20 days, whatever it is. And I don't want to do that, so we're just going to do it the way we've continued to do it, and it worked out pretty good. The last pre-order we did on the E-Series, I think everybody got them either, well, I know everybody got them earlier than what was anticipated, because we got them a little bit earlier than what was anticipated. I always like to under-promise and over-deliver instead of over-promise and under-deliver. So we'll get you guys taken care of there. Appreciate you hanging out, man, and as always, family, rock on, and we'll see you next time, man. Peace.